All right. Um, Welcome, guys. This is our project. It's scene generation for interactive fiction games. So just quick motivation. We all love our text adventure games, but honestly, it does feel like they might be missing something. Of course, I'm talking about graphics. So we thought, it'd be really cool if, in addition to these fully automated generated text adventure games, they had, automated graphics to go along with it. So that's what we're trying to do here. Some related work. We have this one paper, Attention GAN. This kind of kicked off a lot of image generation models from text captions. GANs have been around for a while, but never like this. And it actually uses the attention mechanism that we saw in Transformers. The different parts of the image attend to different parts of the caption. And then this other paper, DFGAN, this one's more recent. It's a GAN that has a lot of different components to generate different parts of the image caption. And then it has this really neat fusion component that kind of takes all these generate images and fuses them together in somewhat of a realistic way. Yeah. Cool. So the way we did this is we used Pixray, which, if you guys don't know, it's a pretty cool image generation model. It uses OpenAI's Clip as the discriminator and VQ GAN as the generator for the GAN itself. And then once we decided on that, it really became a matter of prompt engineering, right? How do we capture the game state to feed into Pixray so we get these, realistic, accurate looking pictures? So we tried two different things. First was a rule-based system, right? So we had the description of the scene, and then it just said like items colon and a list of items, and then exits colon and a list of the exits. The other one was to actually fine tune a GPT model based off some of the hand annotated descriptions that we had. So we kind of went through Action Castle, and for each game state, we tried to give like somewhat of a natural language representation of it. And so we fine tuned GPT on that data and had it prompt Pixray. And so all we did is we had, I think it was about 16 participants play Action Castle without images, with the rule-based prompted images, and then the GPT prompted images. And we just wanted to see which one they liked the best, which one felt most immersive. Yeah. And so here are some results of a couple generated images that we have. You can see in this top one, there's the lantern and the potion. And in this one, there's something like a fishing pole and a potion as well. So we're trying to capture that, this world is dynamic and the scenes are changing as the world changes. Cool. And here's kind of what the users thought. Most people preferred the images, but it wasn't like an overwhelming majority. And this kind of makes sense to us. A lot of people probably felt like the graphics kind of took away from what a text adventure game is supposed to be. Old school style. So that made some sense to us, but most people did prefer the images. And also kind of unsurprisingly, most people preferred the GPT prompted images as opposed to the rule-based ones. And, again, this wasn't an overwhelming sentiment, but this is unsurprising to us because, Pixray and Clip and VQ, they're all trained on natural language captions. So we kind of assumed that they would do the best with a natural language prompt as well. Cool. And just, jumping to conclusions now. So we think the images definitely helped participants feel immersed into the game, but, at the same time, it did kind of confuse some users. If we go back, like this is the same cottage, but it looks different, right? Despite the only thing that's changing is kind of a lantern on the table and a fishing pole on the table. So that kind of discrepancy between, what's essentially the same scene with just small changes, we think confused some users and took them out of the experience actually. Because of this, the ability to like fine grain edit these pictures would be really, really, really useful. And I've seen some demos of like DALL-E 2. You can just select a region and say, replace this dog with a cat, and it will. And it does it so well. Unfortunately, even DALL-E 1 isn't available for public use, but it's on the horizon. And so that's kind of the last thing we realize is that I feel like maybe GPT is unique and a bit of a unicorn, but you have this really nice API and it's very accessible to people. Whereas image generation just kind of isn't there yet. Maybe because it's easier to abuse. But yeah, it's not very accessible, personalizable just yet, but maybe that's on the horizon. Yeah, and thank you guys for listening. It's been our project.